There be a strange thing about holiness, crew. A man can wrap himself in it, drape it across his shoulders, wear the garments of the righteous, and still walk in darkness. Because the Torah does not judge the cloth upon a man. It reveals what burns within him. On this voyage, we speak of a poisoned cup and the plague beneath the skin. Not a sickness carried by touch, but a corruption that begins in silence upon the tongue. And every soul aboard this vessel must ask, am I a vessel of blessing or a carrier of poison?
From names once hidden, roots we reclaim. From scattered sparks, we learn our name. Through longest night, the call remains the same. Echoed truth, no time restrained. Treasures in the Torah, long proclaimed. Ancient truth becomes eternal flame. By the Torah's light, we charge our way through darkest night to break of day. Across the seas where exiles roam, the written word becomes our home. What once was hidden now is shown, guiding us where truth has grown. From generations, voice and flame, we rise to walk the path again. Avast me hearties, welcome to Treasures in the Torah. Welcome aboard.
There be treasures in the Torah, crew, not always buried in gold, not always shining in plain sight. Some lie beneath the surface, hidden in the depths, waiting for a man willing to search them out. But mark this well. Not every treasure brings comfort. Some bring truth, and truth cuts. And now we set our course. Before a man can speak rightly, he must first remember who it is that he serves. Please join me in reciting the prayer of our people, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod, Mahuto, Leolam Vayed. Now that we have declared the unity of Hashem, we turn to the condition of man. And the Torah teaches, this shall be the law of the Metzora. Not a healer is he sent, but to the Kohen, to the priest, for this affliction. For this affliction is not skin alone. Metzora, Matzi Shemra, the one who brings forth an evil name. Rashi makes it plain. Ramban warns that it destroys three. And the Zohar reveals that words rise and stand in judgment. The mark upon the skin began upon the tongue. This week's voyage carries two portions bound together. Tazria shows the beginning, a whisper, a seed. Metzora shows the result, exposure, isolation. What begins small does not stay small. Most of ye will know what this is. This is a Kiddush cup. This is a holy vessel. We use this to welcome Shabbat. We pour our Shabbat wine and we drink in it to celebrate the day of rest, Shabbat. Used to bless the name of Hashem. Now hear this, crew. If this cup were filled with poison, would you drink from it because it gleams? A holy vessel filled with corruption becomes a weapon, and so it is with man. One word, one whisper, one careless remark. There once sailed a ship, crew bound by trust. A man brought forth a cup, fine, polished. He poured into it a drink of divine and awesome splendor. The smell was intriguing. The color was unique and rare. So he poured it into the polished cup. And he passed it along. Drink, he said. And they did. Because they trusted him. But something had been poured into that cup before it was ever shared. And so it passed, man to man, person to person, back and forth, until the damage was done. Half the crew poisoned. The danger never was the cup, but the substance that had been poured into it. So it is with the tongue. A word is passed from one to another, and each says, I trusted the one that gave it to me. I didn't think he would put me in a bad place. I trusted him completely. I had no reason not to. But trust does not make poison safe. Now hear this, crew, and mark it well. Lashon hara rarely sounds evil. It disguises itself. I'm just saying. I don't want to gossip, but, I thought you should know. That be poison in a polished cup, in a vessel that is supposed to be sacred, in a vessel that's supposed to hold a nectar of joy, has been turned to a vessel of poison, wreaking destruction upon all who comes in contact with it. A man need not lie to destroy another. He only need to speak without wisdom, truth, in the wrong moment, truth to the wrong ears, truth without purpose becomes destruction. Homes fall this way. Friendships break this way. Reputations sink this way. But there is another wind. Rechilit. Lashon hara poisons the cup. The rechilit passes it to others. Do you know what he said about you? I probably shouldn't tell you this, but, and just like that, the poison spreads. The one who speaks Lashon hara poisons a man. The one who spreads rechilit divides the crew. And the listener, he is not innocent. Without a receiver, the poison does no work. If the cup is never shared, the poison remains where it was placed and doesn't go any further. A short time later, the poison is discovered and it is removed. It is poured out onto the ground. The poison dies. So guard not only what you speak, but what you accept. But now here's something deeper. There be those who twist these laws into a shield. Certain leaders, certain captains, certain people who stand behind pulpits and bimas, and they say, don't question me. Do not try to say that I am guilty of wrongdoing, because that is Lashon hara. That is not righteousness. That is manipulation. The Torah does not protect corruption. There is a difference between tearing down and holding accountable. There is a difference between destroying a person's life and getting them the help that they need to steer them away from the destructive path that they have now currently been sailing towards. Full sails into the wind. If a man uses holiness to hide wrongdoing, he becomes the poisoned cup. Before a word leaves your lips, ask yourself, but 3 questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it righteous? Every word would be a coin from your treasury. Every word you speak is a coin removed from your pocket, from your coin purse, and put out of your reach. Spend them poorly, and you will be bankrupt. It is better to sit in silence than to approach boldly and loudly down to the path of destruction. And if you think that damage ends with the speaking or the carrion, then you do not understand the wind. See, there was a mighty fine crew who was known throughout the 7 seas for their camaraderie and their friendships with each other. Many people would say in passing, when they'd go from harbor to harbor, they would say, if only I could be a member of that crew, because it is truly a good thing indeed to be considered one of their kin. But as sailors often do, after hours below decks, sailors often would exchange stories of things that they had heard, of scuttlebutting that they had encountered on their day at port, or the conversations they had with other crew members at sea. Until one day a cabin boy started saying things that he shouldn't have said. The young deckhand was quick with his words. He was slow to understand their weight. He spoke of others and said things he shouldn't have said. And the crew listened until trust began to break. The captain started noticing this dissension occurring underneath the decks, and he noticed that once great and close friends started to pit each other against each other. They were standing in conflict where once had been brotherly love. And every single person, when the captain intervened in their quarrel, mentioned the cabin boy as the cause. The captain knew he had to do something, so he decided to act quickly. Mind you, this had been after several days of seeing the results of the cabin boy's mistake verbally. So the captain calls the cabin boy out to the deck. It is the middle of the night. There is a stout wind blowing. The air has a wintry chill involved. The captain tells the cabin boy to climb up the rigging to the crow's nest. The young lad does what he's told. The captain is sure to follow soon. So the captain climbs up the rigging and joins the cabin boy up on the crow's nest. The captain then hands the cabin boy a pillow. And he gives him a very strange command. He says, "Withdraw your dagger and slice the pillow open and empty the contents of the pillow into the wind. So the young lad does what he was told. He takes his dagger and he slices the pillow. Feathers pour out everywhere. The wind takes them. Some end up on the deck of the ship. Some end up in the sea. Some circle like a cyclone above their heads until a chaos and storm of feathers is afoot. The captain then says to the young lad, "Now, climb down from here, gather each and every feather that you have released to the wind, and return it to the pillowcase." The young lad turns white. He says, "That's not possible. Those feathers have gone upon the wind, and they have gone in every direction. It is not possible. It cannot be done." The captain let it sit for a moment, and then he said, "And so it is with the tongue. Once words are spoken, they cannot be undone." As I'm sure most of you sailors know at this point, every week in this episode, we take a couple of moments to give honor to those who came before us. And in our case, sitting in 1626, we also briefly discuss those that are yet to come into the future. But the purpose in doing this is so that we can see the heart of the Sephardic Jew and how they interact their way through history. We are going to be discussing this session a person that we have discussed before, named Rabbi Yosef Karo. We are bringing him up again simply because his legacy is a perfect enhancement to the portions for this week. Rabbi Yosef Karo, in a time of exile and confusion, he brought order. The Shulchan Aruch, a prepared table, not only for great matters, but daily conduct, meals, daily speech. For he understood that a man is undone not in one moment, but in 1,000 careless words. Now, I ask you, crew, have you ever been wounded by words or spoken them? Drop an anchor below. Tell the crew from which harbor you be watching. If this message struck true, like it, share it. Let it sail further upon the seas than the poison. Stand watch over your tongue as you would the helm. Let these words settle upon you as the wind settles upon the sea. Lashon hara, rachilus, is a grievous sin. But it is a sin that is completely avoidable. It has destroyed the lives of many unnecessarily. When you are steering your helm of your ship, mind your own business. Focus on the seas ahead. Because you will find that when you focus on the seas ahead, you will quickly become too busy to notice the error in the navigations of those ships next to you. Yivarecha Adonai v'yisamrecha, Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'yihunecha, Yasu Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May Hashem bless you and keep you. May Hashem shine his countenance upon you, be gracious unto you. May Hashem bless you, bless you, bless you unconditionally, and give you peace. May the wind and your sails be filled with Hashem's righteousness, and may the evil urge plunge straight to Davy Jones's locker. And remember, crew, not every word sinks beneath the waves. Some rise. Some travel. Some reach farther than you ever intended. From ear to ear. From heart to heart. Until all is done. So choose your words wisely. For whatever you speak, speak life. You have a choice. You can either choose to speak life or to bring poison. But the wind carries it all. Shabbat Shalom. May Hashem bless you and keep you. I look forward to seeing you on our next voyage.